Good morning, Mayhem Makers. Well, welcome back to my design wall. We're going to show you how to do the block layouts for our mystery quilt. This is our last session, and it's super easy to put these together. So I'm excited to show you this. Unfortunately, I didn't get all my blocks done for the square version, but I have enough. We'll show you how it looks. And then hopefully as you guys finish up your quilts, you'll post what they look like, because I'm really enjoying all your different fabric choices. So this one's a little different in how we put it up, because they're actually going to, in the instructions, tell you to do it in columns. So I'll kind of show you what that means as far as layout. And so if you're doing like the throw size, which was a common size for you guys, it'll be, I believe it was 7 columns. There's going to be 10 blocks per column. So grab your block A's and your block B's, find a space to lay it out, and get ready to have some fun. And keep in mind, as I lay blocks out, I'll move them around later on when I go to put my quilt actually together. So there may be some fabrics that butt up next to each other that in the end, when I actually finally sew it together, may no longer be together. So those of you that are OCD and like, oh my God, the same fabrics together, don't worry, I'll move them around and all that kind of stuff. So really, this is just to show you the layout. So you start with block A, which is the square with the 2 little squares on the side. I'm gonna make sure you can see this. And I'm just starting in my upper left. Okay, so the squares on the left side, the 2 squares are on the right. And then what you do is you take a block B, the little 4 patch, and place it underneath. Okay, then you take another block A, okay, and you're going to do the reverse. So I start out with the bigger square on the left and the 2 squares on the right. You're going to turn it around so that the big square is now going to be on the right and the 2 squares are going to be on the bottom. Okay, so you already have fabrics next to each other. I'll move them around. In some cases, I may just not care in the end. It'll depend how it all comes out in the end. Because when it's all said and done and you stand back, it's not going to matter that maybe an inch of them match up with each other. I'm not going to care. And then you just keep going. So you go A, B, and just remember to keep flipping A back and forth as you go. So then what will happen is block A, we're going to have the big square on the left and the 2 on the right, and keep making that column. Now when you go to make column 2, what you'll start with is block B. So column 1 we started with block A, column 2 we're going to start with block B. I'm going to flip it around. Okay, and then throw in squares on the floor. We're going to take block A, refer to the chart, the diagram. They start block A flipped. So where we started here with the bigger square on the left, in column 2, the very first time you use block A, we're going to start with that bigger square on the right. I may pick a different one because I don't like this one being upside down. See, now they're meeting again. It'll get moved, don't worry. After I get all my blocks done, I'll have more to play with. And then it'll go B, and then A, and then B again, and keep going. So then we have B, A, B. When we go back to A, we're this time going to have the bigger square on the left and the smaller on the right, because that's the opposite of what's right above it. And then just keep working your columns. Okay, so then as we go to column 3, we go back to kind of like column 1, where we start with block A, and it is going to face the same way, where the bigger square, let's see if I can shift you, is on the left and the 2 on the right. And then we just keep going A, B, with flipping these A blocks back and forth as you go. Okay, so just kind of keep working your columns. This is why I say it's nice if you can lay them out so that you can kind of go through and go, yeah, I don't like these 2, so maybe I find a different one I like, and I just swap it out. But don't let it drive you too crazy, because I know there will be some of you that you will keep switching and flipping and swapping and still struggle with it. So remember, at a certain point, you're either going to walk away, take a break, and then come back to it, or there will be a certain point where you're just going to have to go, it's good enough, and I'm just going to have to deal with maybe 2 fabrics overlapping by 1 inch, or it's okay that these 2 fabrics are the same diagonal from each other. Here, certain things, we're teaching you how to let go. If you keep following with me, I'm going to keep trying to work that OCD out of you. So just hang in there. If you have issues with it, as you know, you can reach out to me and ask for help. I'll gladly give you any kind of input, those kinds of things. You may notice some of my fabrics are upside down because unfortunately this collection was very directional, and I've decided that I will be okay with it because in the end I'm going with a theory that it just won't matter which way the quilt is laying on whoever's snuggling it. So there won't be a right side up and a wrong side and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to be okay with the fact that I'm making it multi-directional, but it may look upside down from first glance. I'm learning to let go, because you know what? A finished quilt is much better than one that's just sitting around as blocks. It will still make somebody happy with all these cute fun prints and all the little skulls and stuff. And most people aren't going to care which way the fabric's going. They just want to snuggle under a quilt. So let's learn to let some of those things go. It will be okay. And thanks, Sonia. I love this fabric. This one's called Kraken by RJR. It just makes me happy. The colors, the print, this may become my next personal quilt because I'm just a kid at heart. So this is how the squares version goes, which is what most of you are doing. We just all worked with squares, putting everything together. If you're still working on blocks like me, see, it's okay. We just keep working on catching up. Maybe that's what the holiday time will be for you, is just sit and sew and be in your happy place. But yeah, just keep plugging along. I already sent you guys the layout, so you can look at that. That's definitely what I'll be referring to because I keep twisting the A around and I'll lose track. Those of you that are doing the strip version, I may have not gotten these blocks done because I was busy working on the strip version. I got it done. So we'll show you this happiness. I have to scoot you guys back a little bit. I learned that as big as my sewing room is, it's not always big enough. So look at this bad boy. I love it. Okay. Let's see if I can show you enough. If you can tell, mine's very blendy, so you don't really tell how the squares are going. But this layout is super simple because they're all the same block. And so you're just going to rotate. One's going right side up, one's going sideways. And my house is always crazy. So, simple layout. Just keep flipping them. They're in your instructions. Ignore my dogs because they drive me crazy. And I thought I'd be lucky today and not have to worry about them, but apparently not. But super cute. Highly recommend. This is like my new favorite pattern to just whip out quilts to give as gifts, because obviously that's why I hurried to get this one done. It's because I want to give it away and I'm going to see that person tonight. So just kind of throw it at them and run away slowly with my mask on and those kinds of things. I'll be thankful when we can actually see people for the holidays. But for now, I just get to give the gift of quilts for the holidays and really love it. And our gal Diane did a fabulous job quilting. I've already washed it, which is why it's got this lovely crinkly look. I may not want to let it go, but I will. I just love a finished quilt. They're so much fun. So hopefully, whichever version you're doing, or both versions, you get them done, knock them out, and give them to somebody to love and hug and squeeze. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, call me at the shop, email me, all those things. You know how to get a hold of me, and I'll gladly answer any questions. But otherwise, hopefully you guys have a fabulous holiday next week. I cannot believe that Christmas is next week. I'm not ready. So hopefully this will help you get to that next step, or maybe help keep you sane through the holiday season. I know it's helping me to kind of escape from the stress. So have a great holiday week. Have a happy Friday and a happy weekend, and just keep on stitching.